everybody. I hope you had a good weekend. And this is Ginger and Ginger's Chat Show. Um, sorry, fighting allergies. Which this time in the fall, cottonwoods are sprouting. Um, and we have a lot of cottonwood trees around here in the city. Uh, my little town here. So, anyway, it's causing some problems and issues. And I hope you all had a good weekend. Saturday night, we had a thunderstorm roll through here. Um, my apartment shook pretty good because the thunderclouds was right over my apartment complex. Loki did not like it. He was cuddling with Mama. Uh, he doesn't like thunderstorms. Never has. Um, and off the news on that end with Loki, he has his good day and his bad day, and today's he's not. He's slowing way down. He hasn't demanded his lunch yet. Normally he comes in here and wants about between 12 and 1 he demands his lunch. But he's not doing it. I don't know if he's drinking any water or anything. I have I saw him do a little bit of it this morning, really this morning. Um, but it's getting to the point now where I may have to take him in and send him across Rainbow Bridge. Um, the cancer is doing a real number on his nose. The infection's gone. The antibiotics is working. It's getting rid of the infection. But the problem is with the amoxicillin, it takes his appetite away from him. It doesn't promote it. It just takes it away. It kind of really makes you feel bad. Um, and of course, when he's on the steroids, it uh, promotes appetite. Well, he's being yo-yoed back and forth, so it's really not making him feel very good at all. But I will keep you posted. Um, I'm being pushed to put him to sleep now. I go, well, as long as he comes to me and he's eating somewhat and drinking, I'm gonna give him a chance. Oh, matter of fact, speaking of the devil, he just walked in. Hi, Loki. You hungry? You want some lunch? Would you like some lunch? Yeah? He has trouble meowing sometimes. Okay, well, let's see. Tell you what, can you guys wait about 5 minutes and I'll be back? Okay? I gotta feed him now. Come on, Loki. Let's go get your lunch. Come here, baby. Ricky. Yes, I know. Now I'm back. Sorry about that. Normally he comes for his lunch about noon, and he just overslept. Anyway, back to what we're going to talk about. Over the weekend, yesterday, the U.S. Open concluded with the men's championship. And above all, congrats to the winners. They worked really hard, and they did some really, it was a pretty even matches on both of them. They really tried hard. And of course, there was only one winner. But they do have reserve winners, reserve champions. And so, congrats. And they had to close the Arthur Ashe Stadium. This is in New York, Flushing Meadows, New York, which just outside of Queens, New York. They had to close the. Thank goodness they had a retractable roof, and like we do here, we have one here in Seattle. Two, yeah, one in Seattle, which is Lumenfield. What is it? Lumenfield's open. I'm thinking T-Mobile Park. That's retractable roof. But I'm glad that they closed it and everything else because they were predicting thunderstorms there in the area. So anyway, Trump decided to make an appearance at the U.S. Open. He just basically wanted screen time, and he just wanted to mingle with the winners. Well, last time he mingled with a winner of a major event, sport event, he basically stole the trophy. This is the FIFA trophy. Well, they got it back, but he tried stealing the trophy. The guy's an idiot. And I wouldn't trust him. And the U.S. Open officials don't trust him. He was trying to ban people from booing him. Well, that's just too bad. It's called the freedom of speech Trump. We either like or dislike a politician based on their behavior and how they conducted their duties. And we all know that Trump doesn't really conduct his duties, okay? But he wanted screen time. Well, they were instructed the media that were covering the event not to show the booing or anything else, cut out the booing and everything. Guys, media, hello. It's called freedom of speech. You guys have that right. Ignore what Trump demands. Ignore him. And stick it out there and show that you're against what he's doing. Grow a spine, media, corporate media. You didn't hesitate when you went against Nixon in 1973. You called it out for what it was, right? Okay? If many of you remember the Watergate issue, okay? Nixon was trying to do the similar thing. And people got up in arms and say, no. But anyway, what the corporate media suddenly did, they only showed Trump once on the Jumbotron, and that was it. But they focused on the match. They ignored him the rest of the time, which is good. I'm glad they did. I'm really glad they did. Now, they did show several celebrities there, like Stephen Colbert. He was there. He was watching the match, and he was, I'm sure, obviously, rooting for his favorite tennis player. Um, I was rooting for Isomosa when she played in Amanda Isomosa. She's from New Jersey. Uh, she was born to Russian parents who immigrated here. Um, and she played really well right up until the championship, but she came in as reserve champion. Um, but she played really well. Hi, Loki. Oh, Loki wants mama. Yeah, right? You want mama, right? Yeah. So anyway, Trump, he kind of gives mixed signals. He doesn't want the attention, then he wants the attention. He can't make up his mind. And as I said before, Congress needs to grow a spine, especially in the House, and start impeachment proceedings to get the whole crew out and get in proper professional public service people in the various positions in the cabinet and the presidency. I respect the office of the presidency. I don't respect the person currently right now that's in it. I don't respect Trump at all. I never liked him. Okay? He's one of those typical bullies that you run across in a grade school yard, right? Okay? Or you run across when you were in school. In either in grade school or junior high or high school. Some of these kids never really grew up, and their parents never really sat on them to behave properly. And what Trump's dad did was create a monster. He should have, his dad should have been head slapped for it. The woman that, the person that normally does all the discipline is the mom. Okay. My mom mostly did the discipline. My dad very rarely did because he was gone most of the time. He was in the Air Force, so he was gone often on missions, okay? And so I didn't see him very often, but mom was there. And she did the discipline, okay? Except for the very serious ones that occurred, dad stepped in. So, but his dad, Trump's dad, never took responsibility for his actions either. His dad got arrested in a Nazi rally that was held in Madison Square Garden back in the 30s, early 1930s. And he was thrown in the pokey for a while. You think the guy would learn. But anyway, but he did have a police record, which right now his son has a police record. Like all 32 counts. And I did watch a little bit of the today's, what was it, Friday or today? Part of today, okay, of the hearing that RFK was required to attend to answer to the House Ways and Means Committee, which is a very powerful committee. And both, it was a bipartisan effort. They chewed on RFK. I mean, really chewed on him, especially on the vaccines issue. Everybody agrees that vaccines are important, okay? You want to keep your kids healthy, you want to keep yourself healthy, if you want to stay alive. And RFK can't seem to get through his thick, stupid skull that vaccines were created for a purpose to protect everybody. Polio was, I remember when the polio vaccines came out in the 50s. I was just born in the middle 1950s. Uh, but my mom was very careful who I interacted with because the vaccine wasn't quite out yet. I was given the initial vaccine um, before I went into preschool uh, when I was in Alaska. It was required. Nobody didn't really require it, but the person who ran the preschool, private preschool, she said, I want all kids vaccinated because she believed in it. And so she didn't want anybody catching polio or anything. And then, of course, you had the second booster, polio booster, and everything. Um, Now, I knew some kids, uh, like my former boss at Boeing, he had polio. And it infected his legs walking. He was able to walk somewhat well, but once in a while it would act up. And it's sort of like the shingles. Shingles is a product of from chickenpox. I don't know if anybody knew that. I had chickenpox. I had it really bad when I was younger. I was like 8, 9 years old when I came down with it. And unfortunately, I gave it to a friend of mine when she was staying over with me overnight with me. And you were a pretty sick kiddo. Of course, later when shingles started popping up and causing issues, it's sort of like fighting chickenpox all over again. But shingles was different, and this one causes pain with shingles. Where you going, Loki? And it's not a fun thing to have. I had shingles in during the COVID, like in 2021. Yeah, in 2020, I had COVID then, or not COVID, but I had scratch that. I had shingles. I was going to go get the vaccine for it, but the shingles itself beat me to it. So I had to wait to get over the shingles in order to get the shingles vaccine. Now I'm all caught up. I'm fine. But with RFK's stupidity and the many of the senators there, they wanted to throw their notebooks at him. Some of them were so mad. Even um, oh, what's her name? From New Jersey, I forgot what her name is, but she wished she had an iron skillet to hit him over the head with it, and I agree with her there. Um, you ask him a question, and either he doesn't listen to the question, or he just ignores the question and rambles on. And this is when he was causing a lot of frustration. And they say yes or no on this question. And the guy keeps rambling on. He keeps saying things that are not true. And even his own sister says he's an idiot. And she's a little bit older than he is, okay? So the Kennedy family was trying to tell the Trump and administration, everything else, do not invest, do not appoint RFK Jr. as health and human and health secretary. Don't do it. And did Trump listen? No. And of course, RFK Jr. does not have any medical background. He does not have any medical training, okay? And Even their own doctor that was on the committee um, voted for him. Well, that doctor needs to get himself examined. Okay? Even the AMA is against RFK Jr. in a lot of things. They said, no, we're going to keep the vaccine mandates going. And you just don't endanger people like that. You just don't. Okay? So I do hope to get my flu shot this year and my COVID shot. And frankly, I think the American people as a whole should rise up and sue Trump and company for the endangerment they put in this country by endangering everybody. They need to be sued for every inch. Okay? And him denying vaccines, or vaccine denial and everything else, I'm really surprised because, well, kind of surprised. I am, and then again, I'm not. Uh, I remember his mom, Ethel Kennedy, who was married to Robert Kennedy Sr., the one who died he was assassinated while he was running for president. Now, some of you that are younger and you were it's way before your time, but RFK Jr., under his brother's administration, he was Attorney General of the United States. But that was before Homeland Security, everything was combined together. Everything was, back then all the departments were separate. They ran separately. They ran independently. But RFK Jr. Sr. was assassinated, well, on a presidential campaign run. Well, the family decided to basically disown RFK Jr. because of all the vaccine stuff and everything else. They said, no, that is not true. You have to go by science. You have to go by what works. What doesn't work, do your research and then try again. Would he listen? Would RFK Jr. listen? No. He just disagrees with it, and I go, well, then you're being stupid. Smallpox, for example, the first vaccine on that came out in 17... Oh, wow. Came out in around 1776 time frame. But they were solely vaccinating everybody for smallpox. Until in 1781, a stronger vaccine was created and everybody was being vaccinated for it. Which basically pretty much wiped out smallpox. Thank goodness. Or we all be in trouble with it for it. Because smallpox and measles can cause a lot of after effects from it. Like hearing loss, like blindness, like anything else on this. Anyway, I will see you on, let me check my calendar real quick here. Hold on a second. Let me check my calendar. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'll see you Wednesday on September 10th at 1 p.m. And hope you have a good day, good week. Keep your eye in the sky. Things are not over yet. Right now, Hawaii dealing with a hurricane. So our friends over in Hawaii, take cover, make sure all the hatches are battened down and held tight, and just hope there's not too much damage. Um, and hope there's not too much flooding either. And I will post this video on my YouTube channel. I need I need more subscribers. Please share. You know, it's free to subscribe. Okay. So anyway, I will talk to you later. Love to all, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.